Hi everyone, today we're going to be making scallop potatoes, or it's kind of similar to potatoes a la gratin. Basically they say scallop potatoes have more cheese in them, a little bit more cheesier. So I guess you could just say I'm making scallop potatoes, but they're both very similar minus the cheese. So let's get started. Alright, so I got some leftover potatoes here, and I bought a big bag of potatoes about a week ago, a 10-pound bag. So I've been making different things with potatoes all week long, so I wanted to make something different. So I got these potatoes left, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to slice them extremely thin so they'll actually cook faster, because the thicker the potato, the longer it takes to cook. So I got my potatoes peeled here, and this is the kind of knife that I use to peel it right here, just a really small knife. Just be careful, make sure you don't cut yourself when you peel it. There are different ways to peel potatoes. You can also get a shredder too, or automatic potato peeler, just whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to soak these potatoes in water so they actually won't turn brown looking while I'm doing other things to prepare this dish. So the next thing we're going to do is actually do the roux part of it, or gravy. It's kind of like gravy basically, but you add cheese to it. Is mainly the difference, I guess. So we'll do that, and this water should protect it from turning brown. So next I have this bacon here. I got it on sale at Kroger. And I'm going to cook probably at least 6 slices of bacon in the microwave, maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to save the rest of the bacon to cook something else. So I got my 6 pieces of bacon here on this little bacon tray, and I'm going to cook it in the microwave. The more bacon you have on it, the longer it takes to cook it. So you just pretty much have to eyeball it. Also depends on the size of the bacon, how thin or thick it is. So I'm going to try it for at least around 3 minutes, and we'll go from there. While my bacon is cooking, I'm going to chop up this onion really small on my little chopper here. And I'll show you what it looks like here. It's this right here. So I'm going to cut it into pieces and then chop it in here. Love this little chopper. It's just easier to me to use this. Got my onions chopped here, as you can see. Now I'm going to chop my garlic here. Got my garlic chopped up here, and I'm going to be putting it in the pot with the onion, and we're going to be using some of that bacon grease to cook it just for a few minutes. And it sure is going to smell good, because I tell you, onions and garlic, the smell of it when it's cooking in some olive oil or some kind of grease, it just smells great. I could put it in every dish that I cook because I love it. It smells great and tastes great. So here in the pot I've got the garlic and the onions here chopped up, and I've got some butter in here. And I poured all the bacon grease that was in the tray from cooking the bacon in the microwave. It probably took about 3.5 minutes to cook the bacon because I did have 6 pieces. There was a good bit of bacon in the tray. The less bacon you have, the less thicker it is. It don't take as long to cook it, but yeah, that's what I have here. So I'm probably going to cook this for about 4 minutes. Yeah, I wanted to show you the bacon really quick, cooked in the microwave. So that looked good. We're going to save that for later, actually. Yep, there it is. This sure is smelling good. I love garlic and onions cooked in any kind of oil or grease or whatnot here. So look how good that looks. So alright, so I've cooked this about 4 minutes. Now that's when it started cooking for the 4 minutes. So I know it takes a couple of minutes for it to heat up. So now what we need to do is add a 1/4 cup of flour to the mixture. And we're going to do that. Get that here. You can see right here, 1/4 cup of flour. And I'm just going to spread this around. Alright, so we're only going to cook this just for a couple of minutes by doing this. And just keep stirring to cook the flour into the onions and garlic. And I tell you, this is smelling wonderful. Nothing like it. So we'll do this for a couple minutes and then I'll show you the next step. So next we're going to use 1.5 cups of chicken broth, or you can use chicken stock, whatever you prefer. And we're going to be putting it in the mixture. So I got the 1.5 cups of chicken broth in here, and it's already actually firming up a little bit just like gravy because of the flour. So it's already starting to make a roux. So now I'm going to put 1 cup of half and half milk here. And so we've got it right over here. So I'm going to pour that into the mixture. And give it a stir. Next we're going to be putting cheese in the mixture. Now I'm going to be putting in 3/4 a cup of some cheese into the mixture here. And right here we got it. That might be a little bit more than 3/4, but hey, I love cheese, so we're going to do that next. And you might be better off actually to shred your own cheese. It might be a little bit better. But I already had some packs of cheese already shredded, so I wanted to use that. And it's definitely starting to thicken up. And it looks just like gravy, don't it? Look at that. And it smells delicious. And putting the chicken broth in here is not going to make it so thick and rich. And I don't like it like that. I don't like it thick and rich. So it's just the right consistency for me. So after adding the cheese, I went ahead and put a little bit of spices. I put some parsley, salt and pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. You don't want to put a whole lot, just to give it some flavor. But yeah, you just cook it on very low for a few minutes just to melt that cheese. But it's definitely the right consistency for me. So I think the roux is done now. Or the gravy. It's slightly different gravy, but it's like gravy. I got this beautiful dish. That was my mom. She passed away in 2016. I think she got this in the 60s, but I'm going to make the scallop potatoes in this dish right here. To me, it's just perfect to make the scallops. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that roux at the bottom here. You can see I put some roux at the bottom here. So we're going to make this sort of like a lasagna. We're going to start layering. So I got to slice those potatoes really thin, and we're just going to layer it. We're going to put the potatoes on next, and then we're going to put some cheese, and then put some roux, and then put some more potatoes, some roux and cheese, and we're just going to layer it just like a lasagna. You can see the potatoes didn't turn brown here when I left them in water, because when you expose them to oxygen, that's when they turn brown. So yeah, I just took one and I sliced it, try to slice as thin as I can. It's not perfect shapes because it's hard for me to get it perfect. You probably need like one of those mandolin cutter things to get it perfectly sliced. But this will do. I mean, I'm not trying to win a beauty contest here. It's all going to go in your stomach anyway. So, but this will work out fine. But yeah, just try to get them as thin as you can and don't cut yourself. Alright, so I layered here the first layer of potatoes here on top of the roux. So the next thing I'm going to do is put some more roux on, and then I'm going to chop up this bacon. I'm going to put some bacon pieces on. I forgot to mention that. Layer it with some bacon, and then we'll put some cheese on it, and then we'll do another layer. Alright, so I crumbled the bacon here and put the pieces of bacon on top of the roux. So next we're going to put cheese, and boy, don't that look good. Oh yeah. So here's the cheese, and we're going to start on a whole new layer again, just like making lasagna. Another layer of potatoes here. We got the roux and the bacon on the next layer here. And for the last layer, and it's at the very top, is the cheese. So now what we're going to do is either cover it with the top or put the aluminum foil on top. I think I'm going to put aluminum foil on top of it. And then you cook it on 350 for about 50 minutes to an hour. Then after that, you take the aluminum foil off and then cook it another 15 minutes to brown the cheese a little bit on the top. I just cooked the scallop potatoes in the oven on 350 for an hour with aluminum foil on top. And it really looks like it's already done to me. Well, maybe not right there. So I'm going to put it in about 10 or 15 minutes on 350 to melt that cheese. Get it a little bit brown and get it more caramelized. So that should work. So I'm going to put it in for about up to 15 minutes on 350. So I'll eyeball it and keep an eye on it here. But don't that look good? It sure does smell good too. Looks really, really, really good. So our scallop potatoes are done, and look how good that looks. Oh my gosh. That looks really, really, really good. Look at that bubble. Smells delish. Look at that sizzle. Alright, so here's our dinner here that we cooked, or I cooked, for the family. And here are the scalloped potatoes, and look how good that looks. Yum, yum. That looks really good. And I'm going to try a bite of it here. Alright. We'll try a bite and see how it tastes. There it is right there. Oh man. That's heaven right there. That is good. What'd you think about them scallop?
I like the whole thing.
You want more, aren't you? Oh wow. What about you, Kevin? What'd you think? You've already ate them? Alright. Well, it was something different. You know, I bought a bunch of potatoes last week. I bought like a 10-pound bag because they were on sale. And thought I'd try something different. It says the same thing over and over again, and I'm glad I did. I will definitely be making this again. This is definitely good stuff. But highly, highly, highly recommend.